Alrighty, so as an advanced educational professional, the data and data analysis that I have been thinking about to focus on to close the gaps is guided reading walkthrough data. So I'm thinking about starting this maybe after the first quarter, after we've kind of gotten a soft start into the school year and been able to record one quarter of grades. Guided reading is like a 25-minute session that the kids are working on their instructional guided reading level. So before we would dive into this, we'd probably get most of the information at the building leadership team and relying more on the administration with the literacy coach and seeing her walk through data on where the teachers are kind of scoring through the different questions on the walkthroughs. And before we would kind of go out with this, we would probably get a survey monkey or something through for the staff, maybe seeing where they were feeling on different sections of the walkthrough form data, maybe even getting kind of the how many years have you been teaching this with the open-ended question maybe at the end, saying where your comfort level was on this and where you would actually want to see the growth for yourself. So then that data would probably take some time to go in, and we'd get a solid base, and probably the walkthroughs for these teachers wouldn't be like a surprise. Maybe it should be. Maybe that's a good question too to kind of rely on. That way that information is probably most accurate. Let's see if there's any other things I want to point out. So I guess my question is, other than the guided reading focus, the guided reading data that we would want to up to kind of close that gap, what other ideas could we be doing for the students and for the teachers to kind of help with that guided reading session?
Just so I'm understanding this, you are going through, and basically once you're implementing this guided reading program, then you're doing the walkthroughs just to make sure that this process is taking place. Is that correct?
Yes, to make sure.
Okay. So are you looking for any data? So then are you looking for any data to how you're going to track your data that's improving the students? Is that based on your just screeners that happen?
Yep, the monthly data, it would be your BAS progress monitoring, and then the student reading progress monitoring, the 100 words, and even, you could probably even do MTSS, because a portion of the guided reading lessons is word work, and the word work processors are more skill-based that you see in MTSS. So.
Do the teachers, after the walkthroughs, do you meet with the teachers afterwards and they get to hear what was seen or whatever and what could be improved on? Or is it just kind of we did this and here's the data? How does that work?
That's a really good question. Honestly, right now it is more of a open Word document that you get. You can see the click yes, click no walkthrough, and then at times there might be a reflective question to reflect upon that maybe you could have done better. But there is actually not a time that you can meet up with. So that might be something too for more of a coaching session to be able to happen to improve upon.
Do you have a time that they can talk about data that they're collecting with you as well? You're not the one. I mean, you're taking data, but it's not like the data that they're taking where they're doing reading and all that. Do you have a time that you can both sit down and talk about that data?
Mm-hmm. Maybe like whole staff would probably be best to wait until like the end of that quarter. Or maybe we could be seeing, what each grade level is doing by bringing that guided reading lesson to your PLC to kind of focus on a different portion of your walkthrough or your guided reading lesson plan, I guess I'd say.
I guess to answer your question, what other guiding reading ideas for data? I think that maybe you ought to have something that you're employing, like specific guided reading programs that are happening throughout each grade level. That way, maybe you can track what processes are working better and what aren't. Support your staff a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Okay. Are there any other questions?
Don't.
Okay. Well, I really like the idea about kind of looking at the different processes that are happening by grade level or maybe even by teacher. And you could kind of maybe even celebrate a certain teacher that's, really doing a good part, or, take different teachers that are kind of excelling at certain parts of that walkthrough form and kind of model together even at the staff level. That way everybody could kind of see that. So I really like that idea.
The other thing, Sabrina, I just thought of as you said that, is maybe setting aside time for, if you have teachers you're noticing at the walkthroughs that aren't necessarily, it's not productive or successful in what they're doing, maybe have them go observe other teachers to kind of see what's working for that teacher, if it's something that maybe they can incorporate into what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. I like that idea too, because I think then it kind of takes the pressure off of, the whole staff, and sometimes it could be a little bit morale depressing, I guess, if everybody has to keep doing it. But as long as everybody's kind of upbeat about it and willing to learn, and I like that idea. Alrighty, well, it looks like that is what we're doing. So we're going to be taking some different guided reading lessons from different people, taking those modeling and continuing to push forward and really celebrate what's working and refine maybe what isn't in certain grades and take that piece over time. So thanks, guys.